This stiff one of the week has nothing to do with Kevin Nash or the Kliq.
Oh,
Not directly, anyway. But this is Jesse calling out Hogan for stooging on him in regards to the unionization, potential unionization, the move to unionize in professional wrestling. Go ahead, let's check out Jesse.
Came back to Vince. Here's what went down.
Who stooged you off? One of the boys?
Hogan.
Hogan stooged you off, okay.
Well, that was because of the lawsuit.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no, during the lawsuit, we had to depose Vince. I told my attorney about the union thing. I said, if you can find out who told Vince in this deposition, and I told him those stories. So at that point, my attorney's very brilliant because they ended up beating Vince.
Right.
He had Vince sitting there and he said, Mr. McMahon, in deposition, he says, has wrestling ever had a union? And Vince, of course, said no. My attorney said, has anyone ever tried to form a union? And Vince paused me and said, yeah. He said, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it one time or another because now Vince didn't like me. I'm suing him, right? And my attorney said, well, did you hear Mr. Ventura say it? And Vince, with no hesitation, oh, no, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show no emotion, but I almost fell to the floor because Hogan was a friend. And I found out, my God, it was Hogan who stooged me to Vince for trying to, and Hogan denies it. Well, Vince admitted it under oath in a federal deposition, and he also admitted it on Larry King's show, because Larry breached the subject with him, and he backed it up again. So you tell me who's lying, Hogan or Vince?
Wow.
I want to credit RF Video for that. I try to credit, whenever we play these clips, I'll try to give it one on there.
you tell me, Oliver.
He does a good Kevin Nash, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a great salsa.
But who the hell would he have thought would have gone to Vince with that? Who would have had the most to lose with a locker room shakeup? But the guy, remember, we were talking a little bit. Well, I think it was off camera the other day about unionization, and you're saying,
right.
Top guys. This wouldn't have worked for the top guys.
No, they unionized to take care of the little man. So when you're talking about, what do you got? 8 to 12 top spots in a promotion. It's one of those guys that's going to say, I'm number 8. Watch me go to fucking number 55.
But the one thing though that it might have done is it might have allowed, if they use like SAG maybe as the model, because we have to decide, is this entertainment or is this sports? If it's sports, then you look at like the NFLPA or the NBA Players Association.
It's not
as
sports.
The model.
It's not sports because it's scripted and it's predetermined.
But your bodies are still being put at risk, so there has to be an insurance element.
Then you're a stunt man.
Okay, so kind of like a stuntman in SAG.
Yep.
So if that's the case, then you'd be participating in all the television royalties, streaming, reruns. You would have got all the DVD action. I guess that's over now, but videotapes, DVDs. That's where it would have benefited everybody. Top of the card, bottom of the card, middle of the card. Is if you were on television.
The number one place that would have benefited everybody was it would have benefited everybody with health insurance.
Yeah,
for themselves and their family. That was the biggest thing. Also, you pay a percentage of your earnings every year to SAG, and that goes towards a pension plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guys that had done 30 years, 20 years, would have that money vested,
mm-hmm.
and they would have a pension when they turned 60. I think it's 61.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, so those two things would happen, but at the same time,
But you couldn't do it.
No.
If they were still 1099 contractors, right?
No,
they'd have to be employees to participate.
Well, I mean, I'm a 1099 when I go and do a film.
No, you get a W-2. You have taxes.
I know, but I'm just saying my company filed.
Oh, you're a loan out. You're a loan out to your production company. That's different, though. But
Right.
as an individual, you're still getting a W-2. They're withholding taxes. You're a short-term employee. Believe me, I tried to get the Disney discount down there. Tell them, yeah, of course I'm an employee. I've done like 4 films for you. They're like, yeah, not the same. A little inspired, didn't it?
Yeah.
What have your interactions with him been?
Just, he came into WCW and did,
Yes.
did color when I was like, early in my career, and I got a chance. He's just a chill dude. You know. Yeah, he didn't get a union going in wrestling, but he became the governor of Minnesota. Minnesota.
Not bad.
Yeah.
David Van Boglen. Kevin, when did you first meet Sean Waltman? And what was your initial impression of him as a person and a worker?
He was he came in as a 1, 2, 3 kid. I've told the story 1,000 times where they shaved his eyebrow and he
Yes.
glued the smoking guns hats on their heads.
And you were like, he's riding with us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that motherfucker.
Mm. Jeremy, with Kevin citing gangsta rap as an influence on some of the NWO stuff, did he have any favorite artists or songs?
I mean, Tupac. There's Tupac and then there's everybody else in my life.
Very good.